I'm gonna go ahead and keep it stacked with you guys. I don't imagine myself using this particular rocket with this particular perks exactly all too often, but I still want to have another one of these ready to go for a different reason. Out of the 3 craftable rockets that we have in the game, this is definitely the ideal one, at least in my opinion, to do this with. And what I'm referring to is basically crafting yourself a div rocket. What I mean by that is, obviously with a div rocket, you're gonna want to have something like last impression, which is the most important thing, so you can swap to your rocket fast enough, shoot it, and immediately switch back to your div. For this purpose, we are going to want to have a lot of handling, and then you want to have lasting impressions so that it'll actually blow up on the div bubble, especially if your squad is using Izzy rockets or just has someone with a Gallahorn as well. This will allow you to sneak in some extra damage even as the div bitch. And for that sole purpose, for being our div rocket, this is the perks that I decided to roll with. We need to get as much handling as possible, which is why we have an handling enhanced intrinsic frame. That's why we have quick launch. Nothing in the third column boosts our handling, so just go ahead and put on the good old tried and true impact casing. Auto loading, so we obviously never have to manually reload it. It's a div rocket. We don't want to have to manually reload it. Then lasting impression being as clutch and as great as it is, allowing us to sneak in some damage if we need to do so. A little bit on the expensive side, but crafting this game is always going to be a little bit expensive. And bada bing, bada boom. This is the second Palmyra that I have crafted. Obviously the first one was enhanced auto loading, enhanced explosive light, February 28th 2022. Yeah, so it's going on like 6 months old. That's pretty cool. And then obviously this is the one that we crafted just now in this video. Obviously with us getting a legacy raid returning next season, in season 18, most likely being King's Fall, a lot of people are going to be bringing in their good old Divinity in to help out with the damage and stuff like that. So I just want to make this little video helping some people out. Just want to mention that, you know, you can have like at least a lasting impression rocket in order to help do some damage as the div bitch. Just the thing to keep in mind is that you really need to have high ass handling. The reason that I really chose the Palmyra is A, it's craftable, so I can really push its handling to its highest potential, and then obviously it has access to auto loading and lasting impression. Also, the crafted version of both these perks is pretty good with just how good Divinity is in in-game content. I figured I'd at least make a video mentioning having a rocket specifically for this role, especially because we know how tight DPS can be for these day 1 contest mode raids. Keep in mind, King's Fall has 4 boss encounters, although technically you don't do damage to Oryx with your gun, you do damage to Oryx with a mechanic. Either way, if you're using Divinity, have one of these in your back pocket.